Systems thinking is powerful. Okay, so when I think of the rain, I don't think of the rain only, I don't think of it as an entity in itself. I realize it's a cycle, right? So the rain falls and then it evaporates. When it gets up there, it condenses, then it comes down. It's a cycle. Systems thinking is a major difference between the rich and the poor. So when you've developed this understanding of systems and how they work, it's amazing. It affects even your worldview, affects how you see life. It affects how you interpret things. It affects how you understand the way things work. And it's powerful because life is mostly cause and effect. Life is mostly cause and effect. So when you understand how the cause connects with the effect, then you can cause and produce the effect that you want over and over again. And that's why we're talking about repeatable success here. Systems thinking is powerful. Okay, so when I think of the rain, I don't think of the rain only, I don't think of it as an entity in itself. I realize it's a cycle, right? So the rain falls and then it evaporates. When it gets up there, it condenses, then it comes down. It's a cycle. Maybe I have not found a better description for systems than the human body. It's powerful. The human body runs on systems. Okay? The human body runs on systems. Honestly, the more you do systems thinking, the higher you rise. The human body runs on systems. Digestive system, okay, that's for the human body. The reproductive system, the excretory system, the respiratory system, the nervous system, right? System, skeletal system, system. Awesome. A system is a group of parts or network that work together to produce a predictable outcome. What does the digestive system do? Oh, the digestive system processes food so it can extract the part that the body needs and throw out the rest, okay? So the digestive system wants to extract the part of the food that you can use. What are the parts that make up the digestive system? Oh, it starts from the mouth, down to the esophagus, and then the small intestine, and then the stomach, and then the small intestine, and then the large intestine, right? Yeah. So a system is a group of parts or network that work together to produce a predictable outcome. Your respiratory system wants to take oxygen into the body so it can supply oxygen to the blood. The excretory system wants to take waste out of your body. The nervous system is the telecommunication system of the body, the electrical system, right? Fantastic. So I hope you can see, because some people think only in parts. They think only in parts. But when you can think systems, honestly, you can produce results that are predictable a whole lot better. Now, somebody may be saying, oh, well, but I'm not an entrepreneur. Oh, but I don't have a business of my own. Oh, but I'm not the CEO of the organization. Oh, you know what? You need to learn about systems even if you are not the founder or the CEO. One of the training programs that I enjoy doing the most for organizations is the one I call Think Like a CEO. Because there I share insights with employees on the things that helped me to rise very fast when I was an employee. Honestly, as soon as I got in, I asked myself, what's the highest level to which I can rise in this organization? And it was right next to the founder. I said, fine, so that's where I'm going. You know what I began to do? I began to put myself in the position of the head of the organization. It was a game changer. That way, I was able to empathize with the problems, with the challenges that the founder was having at his level. And in order to get solutions at that level, I began to read the books that a CEO should read. Yeah, I began to read the books. Honestly, they blew my mind. Some of them, I would read a chapter and it would be like my head wanted to explode. Okay. But then the quality of ideas I began to submit began to change. So, but this is what I mean. You will understand how your organization works better when you think like the CEO. And to think like the CEO, you need to think systems. Some people have serious challenges in the organizations where they work because they don't see systems. I've worked with a lot of people in my life, and honestly, I've hired people that just did not understand systems. And when they don't do, they're busy breaking rules, right? Running against the policies of the organization. They have good hearts, but they're making mistakes. And sometimes painfully, they're even being punished because they don't understand how systems work. One of the greatest disservices that an employee can give himself or herself is, or do to himself or herself is falling into that dichotomy, that separation between the management of the organization and the masses. Oh my God, it's a huge problem and people don't know. Once you take sides with those people that are gossiping in the organization and saying we don't even know what they're doing, and you have this us versus them, us versus them structure in your mind about the management, it's going to keep you small. It's going to frustrate your progress. You've got to learn to identify with the management if that's where you are headed. Okay, you've got to identify. So I'm just simply saying, even if you're not the CEO, you need to learn about systems because it will help you to understand the organization where you are working a whole lot better. Good. This is important also. You need systems only after you have laid a good foundation for your organization and cleared the takeoff phase. Okay, so this is important for the person that really, really needs to apply this. Systems are not your headache if you just started your business and if it's only you working in the organization, right? You have more urgent things to face. And that's why I'm saying you need to make sure you've laid a good foundation for the organization first. Okay? You need to lay a good foundation. At the end of our discussion today, I'm going to introduce to us a course because that's a whole different thing on its own. The 5-phase growth system for an organization. Listen, I've suffered trying to grow organizations. Honestly, I've suffered. I can save somebody some trouble. But I know that an organization goes through various phases of growth. And in that course, I discuss those different phases. And the startup phase is the most important. Okay? The startup phase. And I discuss in the course what you should be focusing on there. So what you should be focusing on. What you should be focusing on is identifying people's needs. That's where to start from. Okay? Identifying people's needs. What do people need? Food? What kind of food? How do they like it? What do they? Now, you do a lot of iteration, a lot of experimenting at that phase. If you are at the startup phase right now, and maybe things are not working perfectly for you, honestly, I want to encourage you, keep going, but keep adapting. And one thing is absolutely important, keep getting feedback. Keep getting feedback from people and adjusting. Continue to get feedback and adjust. Get feedback and adjust. Get feedback and adjust until you hit what we call that sweet spot. Sweet spot. What people need is exactly what you're providing. How they want it is exactly how you are providing it. The sales, okay, the sales come to, you have a lot of referrals because people don't keep quiet. When they really, really enjoy your product or service, they'll tell somebody else. If you're into fashion designing, I say, look, I think advertising for you is one of the easiest things in this world, simply because people have to put the clothes on that you make. And somebody's going to ask, even if they don't say, somebody's going to ask, oh, that looks beautiful on you. Where did you get it? So you're getting referrals, and that moves you into the second phase, which we call the expansion phase. At the expansion phase, the demand is outstripping your supply or your capacity. Yes. That's when you have to get additional resources. That is what stresses you out at that phase, right? More space, more equipment, more staff, more money. All of them cost more money, okay? So that's what I'm talking about. You get that sorted, then let's go on.